Michael Brown is a father and a local musician who now wants to become the next North Charleston City Council member to represent District 7. I speak exclusively with Michael for this edition of Quintin's Close-Ups, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel and like Quintin's Close-Ups on Facebook. Michael Brown, welcome to Quintin's Close-Ups.
Thank you. It's an honor being here, man. It's a beautiful day. Another day to be alive.
Yes. Thank God for that in heaven. Obviously, yes, sir. And needless to say, you are a household name in the Low Country because you are a soul and R&B artist, and of course, you were named the 2020 Soul R&B Artist of the Year. Now, you want to add politics to your career, where you want to become the next councilman for North Charleston's District 7 area, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Where exactly is District 7 in North Charleston?
So District 7, it originally was connected to Liberty Hill, but recently they've expanded it in the Latin area. So now it's no longer, you no longer vote if you live in Liberty Hill. You vote now if you're more on University Boulevard, Latin Road. Those are the areas now for District 7. So this is the first year so this is pretty much the new branch. It's something new. It's fresh. Perfect.
Yes, sir. So since the redistricting of that particular district, District 7, how many people have actually moved into that district?
Oh my gosh. It's been hundreds and tons of people. The traffic is insane. The neighborhoods, they're popping up like pop-up shops. Everything's expanding so fast, and it's a lot of young people between the ages of maybe 21, based on the people I've surveyed, 21 to about 42, new careers, new marriages. So it's a very, how can I put it? I don't want to, disclose and leave out, I don't want to say the older generation, but the wiser generation, the generation who's been around for a while, but it's pretty fresh in this area. This area is like pretty fresh.
Wow. And you say it's pretty fresh. And as you mentioned, Mr. Michael, there are a lot of building going on right now in that particular area. So what exactly are the biggest concerns right now when it comes to District 7?
So the biggest concerns as far as the infrastructure is, I would say the roads. We need to expand the roads. We need more lanes. Latin Road itself is insane. The traffic coming around maybe from about 3 to 6 is like no other. And because everything's pretty much being built from the ground up, everything's fairly new. So we're kind of going with it as it comes. Everything's being built. There's not really anything being rebuilt. Not really any gentrification. Everything's pretty fresh. New stores, new schools, new businesses, and new homes. So yeah, I'd say the biggest issue right now is traffic. That's as far as the infrastructure and with everyone moving.
Where in District 7 do you see, as far as obviously those stops and those intersections and whatnot, where can the city of North Charleston and South Carolina DOT, for that matter, actually sync or better use those lightings in that area, in those particular areas?
Yeah, so they actually added on Palmetto Commerce. They extended it on maybe about 2 different streets, and they're actually connecting I-26 to one of the back roads in Lansing. Right. So it's they're giving it another outlet. So the councilmen before, man, they're doing a great job. They've done a great job as far as this area in building, and I would love to continue that mantle and continue to further those ideas and bring my new innovative ideas as well.
How many infrastructure projects are there currently in District 7?
Whew. So the last time don't quote me,
sure,
but the last time I've checked, I would say about 6 or 7. Mm-hmm. Yeah, about 6 or 7, and those include the lights, the roads, and those are the ones that are currently active. Of course, there are many others that are in the talks and in the work, but those are currently active.
So, Mr. Michael, you mentioned those roads and intersections, but what about sidewalks? Where exactly do you need sidewalks now in District 7?
We need sidewalks Palmetto Commerce. I think we need them on both sides of the road. I jog at night. I walk a lot, and one side has sidewalks, and the other side is more just grass and those areas. And with sidewalks, we need more street lights. It's pretty dark in those areas at nighttime, and I live in a gated community, and I understand. I'm a pretty big fella, play sports, and I still sometimes walk to my car looking around. And it's not that it's a dangerous area,
Right.
but I do believe we need more sidewalks, Palmetto Commerce for sure. We need. I would say we have sidewalks close to the road, Latin Road, but that's dangerous to me. So I feel like maybe we should bring them a little further towards the businesses. Maybe put some grass there, and then but the sidewalks are like right there at the road, and if you're waiting for the bus or anything can happen. So I think we should try to move the sidewalks over slightly on Latin Road if we could, if that was possible. So that's what I'm going to try to do to make people safer as far as walking. There are a lot of people who take the bus daily and walk daily, so we can't leave them out of the conversation. And that's my whole point of my campaign. I want to bridge the gap for people who may not have a voice. For those types of things.
I want to break down a couple of things, Mr. Michael. Well, let me ask you this: how many businesses right now? Well, frontage businesses right now in District 7 can actually be allowed to be pushed back so that those sidewalks can be available for Latin Road or Palmetto Commerce or whatnot.
The beautiful thing is the businesses are actually far back from the road, so that would be an easy transition. The businesses already have, like for instance, the neighborhood Walmart on Latin Road. Okay. It's all the way back, and then they have a shopping center right in front of the neighborhood Walmart. That's way far back. So really, it's really just empty spaces and grass right in between those areas. So it could be done. Now, as far as doing it all the way down the entire road, that would be slightly difficult. I think I would probably try to focus on where the bus routes are, and maybe where there's more walking traffic, because there are homes on Latin Road as well that are right there. So they may have an issue with, as far as us maybe pushing back with their fences and gates.
Oh yes,
but that's another thing. Like fences and gates on Latin Road aren't repaired. They haven't really done anything. They have grass all over them. They have vines and leaves all over the place. So I feel like we could clean up that entire area and expand it at the same time. It'd be a win-win situation.
How do you grow District 7 smartly?
You said, how do you grow it?
Yes, sir. How do you grow District 7 with smart growth?
So I think the best way to grow District 7, and mind you, District 7 is growing on its own, and in its own right. It's the people. Because of the people, District 7 is growing because of the people who are deciding to move here in this area. These people, I would say District 7 is more so middle class citizens already, mostly. So the one thing I would focus on now is focusing on, and mind you, this may seem very broad, but I'm not a surface level thinker. I think like really deep into things. So the one thing I would say, customer service in North Charleston, in this area. I would say customer service, and I'm going to expand on that. I feel like it's not an unknown thing. People talk about it. The customer service in North Charleston, I don't want to say it's slack, but it's kind of slack, in different senses. So I believe that if we focus on customer service, we'd be able to bring higher paying jobs here in this area, because most people who live in this area don't work in this area. So I feel like we could grow this area if we all would be able to. Just imagine if the person who lived there could work at a great business nearby in their city. This would also bring more funds to the city. This would also bring more attraction, better businesses. We gain more dollars for many different reasons. Yes. So and people would save money in gas. They wouldn't have to drive all the way to Sullivan's Island and downtown. My fiance, she works downtown. She drives 35 minutes every morning and back, and that accumulates gas. So we would save money. People be able to give back. So many different opportunities that would come out from that.
Well, let me ask you this then, Mr. Michael. What is the current tax base for District 7 and the city of North Charleston in generalities?
So with District 7, when I first got into politics, my my father, Michael Brown, is in District 1.
Oh,
And it's completely did you know that? I
I
don't
didn't
know
know that. I had no
yeah,
clue all these years.
so my father, he's councilman for District 1 right now. So my idea with my I would say District 7 is unique. It I haven't been able to really pinpoint everything in District 7 as far as the taxes are concerned because like I said, I grew up in North Charleston and I grew up in a lower income family at one point, and now that I guess this would be a new experience for all of us because I'm learning, you know, I'm learning all of the, how do
Ins
I
and
say this?
outs. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I'm learning the ins and outs of the new way and living in this area. Like this is surprising for me. And mind you, out of high school, my parents were very well off, but I wasn't focused on politics then. So coming back home, I'm kind of learning more and more about, you know, what they need. And, you know, we've been taking surveys and asking questions like that.
Yeah. So now that you're back in back here in the Low Country, how long have you
Yeah.
actually been living in District 7?
I've been living here for a year and a half now, specifically
Wow.
District 7. Yes.
That's it.
I live Harborstone Apartments. And it's very homey, man. I've been involved with, the funny thing is I've been involved with the neighborhood and community in different ways as far as, putting on small little concerts for them, in different areas and meeting them. This was prior to even me wanting to run. So I'm very into the community. I'm meeting the people and understanding like, okay, I love where I, I would love to take the ideas from District 7 and expand them all throughout all the different districts in North Charleston because I love where it's going. It's really headed in a beautiful place, man.
And I know, Mr. Michael, you got to run because you have your fiance to take care and your child. But I want to ask you a couple of questions that
Yeah.
I just want to follow up on a couple of things that you said earlier. You talk about those high paying jobs. So how many jobs, because of the growth that's coming into District 7, how many jobs do you need to keep up with the growth of District 7 and the city of North Charleston for the next 5 years?
For the next 5 years, if we really want to match that energy, if we want to make sure I think we need about 4 to 5 big businesses, and that those include, I would say, a high end grocery store. I'll start there because higher paying jobs isn't always in the category of to someone who makes a lot of money, the category of 65,000, 75,000. Those things are different. But I would start with a grocery store and with one of the high end grocery stores with great fruit, great vegetables, with all these great things. Why? It would also be a win win situation with our health issue and with us being able to eat better and having better access to better things. Another one I would say we need okay, so I'm biased because I'm a musician, but I feel like if we had a major record label here, this would bring a different amount of attention to the city, to South Carolina. It would bring different amount of dollars for sure. So I feel like, you know, we've never had a major record label here in Charleston. And if you check the numbers on what labels have done to cities and state and what they've done and the taxes they've done, it's almost like a college corporation. And it's almost like what South Carolina does to Columbia. It's a major move. So I feel like if we clean it up, we get better customer service, we do the little things, we'll be able to bring in the major labels and the major law firms and things like that.
And I know all about the music because I travel to Nashville a lot for work, so I know about music and how that's generated and helping that city a lot. But let me ask you a better question, Mr. Michael. You talk about bringing in those record labels. Well, how about if you were to, theoretically, hypothetically speaking, bring in an art center somewhere in that part of the city of North Charleston?
It's funny you said that, man. So I've been working on this project for about 2 years now. Like I said, all these things were prior to me even wanting to run. A multi-center, I wanted to call it visionary lane. So it would incorporate with photography studios, music studios, dance studios, creative writing sessions, I really wanted to focus on those things and start painting as well. Everything it would include every different type of studio. We partnered with Poor Rich Kids. That's an organization from a young lady who also lives in my district as well. We partnered with Lower Tower Fitness. That's one of my good friends, KJ. We've created a program to where youth can come work out twice a week for free for 1 hour. This would also work on, the fitness for people. And I wanted to, extend it also for the adults because I feel like fitness, if you're in good shape, it doesn't mean you have to, work out like, you're the rock. But if you're in good shape, I believe it helps your helps your mental stability. And also, even with the art, I feel like that's what the kids are missing now as far as accessing their creative ability. Like we've gotten accustomed to high school, college, job. We've gotten accustomed to that lifestyle, and I feel like it worked for a lot of people, and it will work. It will continue. But I think this new generation, they want more. They want to really tap into who they are, and when they can't, they start acting out, and then they start, turning to other things and TikTok, and there's nothing wrong with TikTok, but turning to all these other things where if we pour into their mental, we pour into their creativity, we pour into the things that make them and I mean, not saying we shouldn't focus on the things that they can create, but we have to really child by child, brick by brick, really focus on what makes them who they are and show them these things. So I feel like, yes, with the Art Center, that is something I've been really wanting to do. And I pray soon that it would be in the works.
And while that is in the works, Mr. Michael, does District 7 currently need a community center to keep these kids actually occupied?
Yes, absolutely. One of the first things I wanted to focus on was tutoring and hobby classes. I feel like it is very important that they know what they love and for instance, man, I think when we get to college, they give us majors. But I think we should have majors in high school. But since I'm not able to change the curriculum with the tutoring centers that we would put around here, we'd be able to kind of guide them towards that, have them focus on what they would want to major in, and not necessarily even college, but the same different things. Maybe you want to do engineering, maybe you want to do journalism, maybe you want to do these things. I have been great to met a lot of people in my life, and a lot of people would help me with this. So I've got many different friends who would love to give back to the children in that way. So a community center would be ideal. I mean, we don't even have those anymore like that around in North Charleston. Community center saved me. My parents working every day, going to free lunch, at those community centers, all those things kept me out of the streets, kept me from doing the average things that always kept me on my toes. We had curriculum about Jesus, about God, about all these things, and I feel like that's missing as well. I don't want to get too deep into that.
No, you can do that on here. It's fine. It's totally fine.
But look, I really feel like the one tool that's missing from the council, from everything, is the direction of God, honestly. And I feel like it's one of those things that seem cliche, but I have, when I first ran for council, I built myself to be robotic at one point. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, I'm young. They want to see me, in a suit and tie. They want to see me do this. They want to see me cut my hair. But I allowed God to lead me in different ways, to where even if I lost, I've met so many people. I've done so many things. I've learned so much more about the city that I would keep it going regardless.
Regardless.
So I feel like being spirit led is something we have to. It's not something easy to be. You have to, show people. You can't show them how to be spirit led, but you can teach them things to be able to recognize the voice. So me, I would love to incorporate that in people who would want to. I wouldn't force that on anyone, of course, but I would tell someone, hey, this works. I know I know there are a bunch of. I know you can get this degree. I know you can do that. You can do that. There's technical things you can do, but there's one other thing with those things that would take us to a new level.
Yes, absolutely. You talk about council, and I know your father is currently on North Charleston City Council seeking re-election. He has no opposition, I might add. But
yeah, he has one, but they have to. It's one of those things you have to pretty much sign their name.
Oh, you're right. Or the write-in candidate.
Yeah.
But if let's say, for instance, Mr. Michael, he gets reelected to North Charleston City Council, and you get elected to City Council, how will you vote differently from your father?
You said, how would I do what differently?
Vote differently from your father.
So you said, how would I vote differently?
Yes, sir, from your father.
So I would. One thing about my father, I wouldn't say we're the same, but we're pretty much the same in a sense, and in so many different ways. He's very spirit led. He's very wise. He doesn't make emotional, irrational decisions, and he doesn't really make decisions for himself. He's always considering others. So I would really think we would be on the same page, honestly. And I think that a lot of people might think that it would be biased in so many different ways, but I do believe that I think that would be a great thing, man. And what's funny is I've always wanted to work with my dad in so many different areas, as far as music, church, so many different things, and it's just crazy that we have come, full circle now back to politics. And I was into politics. I actually worked for Senator Marley Kempson at the State House as a paid in college. So when I came back home, I kind of was like, no, I'm done with politics. But he showed me another perspective of it. He was just like, this is what this is really about. I know you've seen the ins and outs, you've seen the dirty sides, but if anything, let that push you to be the reason why you want to be a voice. So I think that would, be great.
And going back, obviously, to what you talked about prior to that, in circles that particular conversation, which is education. As you know, education has creeped it into the race for North Charleston Mayor and North Charleston City Council. And there's some talk that some people want to have the city of North Charleston be separated from the Charleston County School District. Would you be in favor of that?
It would be a great idea, but I wouldn't necessarily be in favor of it and separating it completely. I think we can continue to we just have to come more together as a collective. There's been so many back and forths, and of course, we don't have any control over the school board, but we can give them our ideas. So I feel like if we approach them I think at this point it's almost like a life or death situation almost. So it's almost like we have to really step our game up. We have to really propose things in a healthy way. And I feel like healthy communication in politics is something that should exist. Sadly, it doesn't. As far as trying to get points across, people kind of just directly say things, but I feel like there's a way you can do things to kind of come together and help, because the people come to the councilman concerning the education board, and because we're hearing what the people not where I can't say where, because the council is hearing what the people are saying. They're going to the board maybe with a little, not aggression, but with demands that need to be met, but it's hard to come to common grounds. So I feel like it's not that I'm against it, but that would take some time to kind of really develop. And I feel like we don't have to kind of restart that. I feel like we can. I feel like there's ways we can. It's just certain things we gotta fix.
What things that need to be fixed right now in District 7 in relation to the Charleston County School District and the Charleston County School Board?
So as far as District 7 is concerned, there are no failing schools in District 7. So District 7 itself, that's why I said it'd be great to see, the rest of the district kind of, I guess, but it's hard because, like I said, there's no gentrification here. So there are so many other reasons why, and I don't want to say it's because those are low income areas and those are, these areas are, but unfortunately, children who it's more, how do I word it? It's more likely that a child who grows up in a home with income will be at a school that's a passing school and not a failing. And like I said, this area is, if you live in this area, 9 times out of 10, you make at least 45,000 a year to 50,000 a year. So I think that's one of the things in District 7. But there are no failing schools in this specific district. So I think they're doing pretty well in this district.
And you talk obviously about the income in District 7. So with that growth rate, where do you see the growth projections heading in the next 5 to 10 years for your district?
Oh man, in the next 5 to 10 years, if we bring these higher paying jobs here, because as I said, it's still growing, and we have nice businesses, we have nice homes and nice new apartments and new things, but we still don't have higher paying jobs here. So I feel like within the next, that would determine the higher paying jobs that we bring here, that would determine where we be. Now we can continue to go to roads. We have to do those because people live here, people are moving here. We can continue to do those things, but the higher paying jobs, I think that would determine what we'll do in the next 5 to 10 years.
And
if we
yes, sir.
execute that.
And I have 3 more follow-up questions for you. I know you got to run, but let me follow up on all of that. You talk about the homes and apartments. So when you look at District 7, Mr. Michael, what is the biggest difference? How many apartments do you have versus homes?
So in District 7, we have about 3 major neighborhoods with Quintin. I would say the ratio, there are more apartments. There are more apartments. I don't want to say than houses, but there are more apartment complexes than neighborhoods with homes.
Huh.
So and they're being built. 1, 2. It's fairly equal, but there are some being built right now, and I haven't even seen the name of the project yet. But I drove past it maybe about 2-3 days ago. I was like, whoa, they're building another complex. Like, and they're all up and down. Like, if you drive down Palmetto Commerce now, all the way to that back road heading towards I-26, you'll count at least 7 complexes. Wow. And that those are completely different units. So I think that I think we're heading even towards building condos over here now. So I think they're trying to kind of head towards the next scenario, type of infrastructure and things like that. And that's that'd be a good thing.
Good thing. So, Mr. Michael, let me ask you this then. Where exactly in District 7 do you have land available for, say, affordable housing, attainable housing, and workforce housing?
In District 7, well, so what they've been doing, they've been pretty much, so I'm biased because I love nature, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying I'm against, tearing down all the trees, but what makes Charleston is our trees, our nature, the way we have everything set. So I would love to continue to expand for more homes, but I'm not really for the homes that are home right on each other, just pop up, because I think it'll take away from what we are in Charleston. But for more affordable homes in this area, I would say it's pretty tough for District 7, honestly, because it's such a growing area, and we would have to literally create a complex that would be specifically for lower income people. And mind you, they deserve it. They deserve it. Just because you don't make a certain amount of years does not mean you should live somewhere where rats are crawling out of the ceiling and you're breathing in mold. And one of my friends are currently fighting a case now. They've been living somewhere, and their mom, she passed, and they found out she had mold in her blood. So she's been breathing it in for years. So I would love to create a project, and it would have to be for District 7, because university is very, very busy. I don't even think it would have to be somewhere off of Palmetto Commerce where they're building. So that area is pretty, it's pretty new. So
Yeah.
it's really right now, Palmetto, it's just road. You can continue to expand off of Palmetto Commerce. You know, you can knock down some trees over there in that area. So I feel like within the next 5 to 10 years, we probably won't see 5 trees in that area. I feel like that'll be a perfect place to build something specifically for lower income people to be able to apply, get applications. And that's something we should do to give back. You know, they still work hard. Unfortunately, everyone can't make over 50,000 a year. That's just, but they should still be able to have an opportunity to live somewhere nice. That's my opinion. Yeah.
Well, Mr. Michael, let me ask you this. What's more important for the district? Is it, and I'm sitting here looking at a bunch of houses here in downtown Charleston, but is it building new homes in commercial space or rehabbing, expanding and better utilizing the existing homes?
I would say better utilizing the existing homes. That's my personal opinion. It's a very I don't wanna say, hey guys, don't move over here, it's crowded. No, that's not what I'm saying. It's a very crowded area. Like it's it's beautiful. And mind you, I've been to other cities like Charlotte and in those areas, and so I understand where we're trying to head, where we're going. It's just taking us a little while to get there. But I think if we better utilize these homes, because I'm not, can I ask you one question? I just want to know your opinion on this before can I ask you something?
I can't comment on anything. I'm sorry.
Anything? Okay. Well, as I said,
Yes,
I am personally a fan. I feel like homes with land and being able to have your own space creates more insight for children to play outside and for children to be more active and being able to. There are so many things we could do to utilize the space and with the homes we already have. So I feel like, you know, those small changes are taken away from our children even being able to go outside and find creativity or be healthy, and like things are changing. Like, and I don't want to talk about the obese. I don't want to get too far off topic and talk about the obesity of the youth today, but that's all. I think we're so focused on ourselves that we don't realize that in the next 10 years, it's not going to be us. Or next 50 years, it won't be us. It'll be the children behind us. And what we leave them with. So right now, the decisions for us would make sense to continue to build and do these things. But I feel like we can't get away from the homey aspect of growing up with the space for children to be able to play in the streets and do these things. And like I said, we're very business minded. We're focused on these things, but those children grow up to be adults one day, and lacking that, it changes their mental process, in my humble opinion.
And so, this might be an irrelevant question, Mr. Michael, but what current public partnerships would you be in favor for as far as expanding infrastructure in District 7?
You said the private ones?
Yeah, public-private partnerships would you be in favor for as far as expanding infrastructure in your district?
I'm honestly in favor of the transit bus station. I'm in favor of it. I think that right now we need, and I'm not saying we need to get the roads off the cars off the road, but I do believe that would help the environment as well. That would help the environmental infrastructure. That would help get less smoke in the air. Of course, electric cars, but those are things we can't go through to get electric cars. But I think if we provide, and I mean it's already in the works. So I mean I think the new bus system, that would be great. More people would drive their cars less, take the bus. Honestly, I would. So I mean that would be a great thing.
And where exactly, ideally, do you want those, I guess, the bus stops to be in your district so that people can access that public transportation?
Oh, the perfect place, Department of Commerce, and that would, and right now they're on Latin Road. That's where they come. But I feel like also back to your first question, one of your first questions with the sidewalks.
Oh yeah,
adding sidewalks to that other side, being able to, and I know the traffic would be insane, but we'd have to create a separate lane. And I think there's enough space. There are more trees right there. Just create a separate lane, and the buses will be able to. And in Prominent Commerce is only, it's about 8-minute drive, right in and out. It wouldn't have to, it shouldn't affect too much. Create one bus lane for them to come through. That'd be great.
I forgot to ask you this, and I was just thinking about that as you were just talking about this. But in regards to adding those extra lanes for the buses, where would multi-use lanes be ideal in your district? As far as that.
I would say Latin Road. I would say that would be Latin Road for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Latin Road for sure.
Wow. Do you favor expanding Latin Road by chance? A widening, I should say.
I do, and I think honestly, we really won't have a choice in the next 5 to 10 years. The way it's looking right now, I mean, unless we want traffic to be backed up all the way on D Road and coming down University, I feel like it's gonna eventually hit a clashing point. Not to mention it's Krispy Kreme.
Oh yes.
I'm talking about the traffic. But yeah, definitely Latin. I think we have to expand the roads in Latin. Have to.
Well, musician, father, and now North Charleston City Council candidate Michael Brown, thank you for your time here on Quintin's Close-Ups. And I know you want to come back on in December to talk about your music.
Yes, that'd be great to talk about the hip hop brunch musical that's coming December 9th.
Yes, sir. We'll be back on that for that. Thank you for your time right now.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.